Hi, I'm Sam Peterson, author of two books, Trunky Transgender Junkie and Sugar, a Memoir of Craving, and I'm an old, gay, trans man with bad teeth, and I love knives. I'm not here to rate them, tell you about the newest, the bestest, the fastest, the kapowest. I'm here to queerly share my queer love of knives with you. Like and subscribe. Hello, everybody. Ooh, did I drop it? It is here. The one actual Grail knife that I have been waiting for juice. I've been waiting for juice to buy. As always, I got this blade on the secondary market. It's a Spyderco, and I am semi-committed to only purchasing Spyderco secondhand. I cannot afford it at price, which is $450 right now, depending on what site you look like, but it has been $500 for a long, long ass time. So, and of course, it is the Spyderco Slysz Bowie, the infamously famous Spyderco Bowie. Bowie. I say infamous because people have paid up to $1,000 on the secondary market for a first run one of these guys. The first run ones are in titanium with gray, plain scales. This blueness indicates that it's a second launch. So, yes, it's a sign of a reboot, if you will. The infamy is that most sane knives think that is a lot of money to pay for a knife, a Spyderco knife especially. And I agree, although I'd certainly love to have one. If you're watching out there and you're rich and you love me, you get me one, daddy. Or mommy. Or they. The fammy, or infamy without the M, which would be fame actually. The fame is that it's a fucking awesome knife. It is fucking awesome. It is large and in charge, with barely contoured powder finish titanium scales, with a deceptively large satin full flat grind blade in M390. No big deal, right? M390 steel. Here's the thing: the edge is just 3 1/3 inches. This is not a big knife necessarily, but it feels immense in my hands. Perhaps because the blade is so wide, I really don't know. It feels gigantic. This knife feels gigantic in a good way, like really solid utilitarian knife. It reminds me of Slysz's other designs, the Spidey Chef, the Techno, and the Swayback, all of which are just iconic knives. It reminds me because here's the thing about a Slysz knife. They're not particularly fidgety. They don't necessarily fall smoothly into the scales. They don't have that. And yet, there is something magical about each one of Slysz's designs. It may be inexplicable, but I'm going to try to describe it nonetheless. I will try to explain. This feels like a $450 knife. It does. The fit and finish, the sublime architecture, the quirkiness of said sublime architecture, the ease of use, the utility of this knife is just, in a different league. When you interact with a Slysz knife, it feels like it guides your hand. Like it feels like it tells you what it wants to do. And that's a good thing. They're not even the most comfortable knives, although this is fine. It's adequate. It's even good, but it's not like, oh, the ergonomics. No, not at all. But when you work with one, you can feel that it is a designer knife in the best way possible. And let me explain. When I say designer knife, I don't mean like a stamp of Polo Pony on it, or a Spider for that matter on it. It's not a, and call it a Saint Laurent. It's not a Givenchy. It's not a Dior. It's not a Louboutin. It is more like a Ferrari, a designer that, or a design that's embedded with the designer's name, and that's code for superior build, exquisite machining, flawless design. So, doesn't mean it's the most ergonomic or fidgety or sexy. The Slysz Bowie isn't finicky at all. It's built to last lifetimes. This is built to be a legacy knife. It's not going anywhere. But it does have the indelible feel of something unique and grand and lasting when you interact with it, just like an Italian sports car. I imagine. I drove the Jaguar. I've never driven a Lamborghini or Ferrari, but you see them just purr. They're just like, stunning. I'm not even into cars necessarily, but you know what I mean. Some of you are really uninterested in expensive designer knives, and I appreciate that. I cannot fault you for that. There are a very great many wonderful knives under $200, under $100 even. But I will say, somewhere along my journey as a knife collector, a knife lover, I developed a taste for these. I began to appreciate why a knife could cost $300 or $400 or $500. Sometimes it's just the folklore, like Benchmade, right? They have a folklore about their brand. Sometimes it's because it's USA built, like Three Rivers Manufacturing. Sometimes it's because it's unique steels and shapes, like Spyderco. And sometimes it's because of the mystique of the designer, right? Like, I can only think of Hinderer, Rick Hinderer, but there are a million knife designers out there who have this mystique about them, right? Or maybe it's all of the above. But somewhere along my journey, I acquired Slysz knives. I believe it was Eugene Crabb who let me hold my first Bowie. He let me have his Bowie for a while and hang on to it, and I fell in love. And that's where I began exploring. I fell in love especially with their quirkiness. I mean, if you look at the chef, it's a wild looking knife. It's a funny looking knife. And I'm a funny looking trans guy, so I vibe with Slysz. I hope to acquire other great knives, like at any price, hopefully under $400 secondhand, right? I like the feel of a thoughtful, well machined, intentional piece. That is why I'm attracted to Giant Mouse too, for instance. Um, but the Slysz, the Swayback, the Techno, the Spidey Chef, this knife, you can't go wrong. Anyhow, have a marvelous, wonderful day. I ate a pint of Ben and Jerry's fish food last night, so I will not be eating much today, and my stomach's already growling. But I'm not. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right. Ooh, it's very bright.